You're welcome to Wole Soyinka at 90, which is the last program and also the party to celebrate this icon who has done great in Nigeria and all over the world. Wole Soyinka's complexity is indigenized in Yoruba words. If you can translate this word into the indigenous language, you tend to understand that he's using simple terms.
If you are a Yoruba speaker, you would have heard people say something to be muaja, and that is a phrase that Yoruba people already understand. So when you see dog nose wetness, you know why he's talking about.
I think Wole Soyinka is an amazing person, an amazing writer. What wows me most about him is his vast knowledge.
I think Wole Soyinka is a culture custodian because, like our first speaker rightly said, he mentioned that Wole Soyinka is one who, in a way, linguistic most of Yoruba and our indigenous languages into his works.
We love creativity. CORA was formed and came to life to 1991, and you will almost think that it's a gigantic organization, because you will think that it is only a mighty organization that could have done all the things that we have done in the year 1991 to date. Wole Soyinka has done a lot, and that's why we are celebrating him. This is our fourth outing this month to celebrate and glorify Wole Soyinka, who has done so much for knowledge. That's why we are so passionate.
Essay about his house in Abeokuta, and also, how removed he was from civilization. He chose to build this house in the bush, and how, his restless spirit has in some way contributed into, fueling his creativity. But what I wanted to talk to you about, these young people in front of me, instead of ranting about these big ideas, is how you can use what you have, in your own space to create what you want for the future. I think that's the most important thing I can say here. Many people have talked about Soyinka as being difficult to read, and in my experience, as I said earlier, many of the things you find in his work come from his own original Yoruba upbringing, which means that all you need to be able to thrive and succeed in your endeavors, and no matter what you want to do, are the things you already have in you at this moment. Don't think that, Soyinka is so big and so far away, and it means you can't reach the level he's reached. No, everything he did and became came from all the things that built him, from his own upbringing in Ake, Abeokuta, to Ibadan, where he lived, to every other place he has found himself. So if you have anything in you, in language, in tech, in every skill you have, in dance, in art, all of those things are going to be useful in helping you become whatever it is you want to become. So what do you like to do, young man? You want to be an artist. See, that's one thing. What do you like to do? A dancer. What about you? A dancer as well? A doctor. Good. A doctor as well. See, all of those things you want to be are possible and are within your hand. So don't let anyone anywhere tell you can't do it. If anyone tells you can't become what you want, tell them they are talking nonsense. Okay? So your goal is to keep your vision in your head and do everything you can to achieve it. You might want to become a doctor today. There may be other things that you may have to be to become the doctor you want to become. You want to be a dancer. It might be that tomorrow the first thing you have to be before you become a dancer is to first qualify as maybe a theater artist or a broadcaster or a linguist. Sometimes your parents want to steer you in different directions. All of those things are important, are helpful. They have your best interests at heart. But keep your own vision in your head, even if you have to first go through the hurdles and the obstacles that other people put in your way. Sometimes it's for your own benefit, and sometimes it can help you even get to where you need to go at your own time.
We need to challenge our creative mind today by passing the microphone from the back, moving on to prices. It's going to start with prices. So this is what we're going to do. Our goal, you're going to start a story. Just start a story. You don't need to pity the person beside you. can start with a complex story. It can start with a horrific story. Don't pity the person beside you. This is creativity.
To live in Nigeria, no be small thing. I've been in my house for over 10 years. I haven't even gotten a good paying job. What kind of life is this?
Living in Nigeria simplifies that or signifies that one is able to accept what life throws at you.
After a long walk, when I go to a particular shop just to beg for food and a little bit of rest, they send me and say, you can't even work for yourself. And I just get devastated, I just leave there. And walking on the bridge, I see another person, just like me, with the same faith, walking along the road.
What am I going to do? I keep applying for these jobs and nothing is yielding positively. Okay, let me call my friend and just ask her for 2K. I mean, what else should I do? I'll survive.
These were the words of my friend who has been living in penury for the last 10 years. I've been trying so much to make sure she gets a job, but all to no avail. At this point, one would think she's under a spiritual attack from the way she has suffered from different rejections. You know, at some point, it got to a point that she went to a very small booker to be their cleaner, and she was denied of the job.
The worst part of being the friend of someone who has suffered so many years living in penury is that when things are going well for you, it seems like you are the enemy. Michelle, I shall hope she finds something good for herself one day. Thank you.
So, sir, why do you think our youth these days still have this issue of poverty as their storyline? Why can't we have people with a positive mindset?
Which is an agglomeration of hitherto experience that is emerging in our subconscious that now replays in a position of REM sleep people call to be dreams. Have you ever wondered that people do not dream of having the hours in their dream? What they dream of is Egungun atoro nlemi, Oru babao. When they ask the child from Nigeria, what do you want to be? I bet make I shop first, make I grow up before I think of what I want to be. All of this are what they shop where? They know say they feel grow, but me na kwashokwa they deal with it. They ask me say, what I want to be when I grow up. So their mind reacts to the lack. But that's the capacity of intellectual exposure and books. The thing is, your mind too can also travel. So the Yorubas have a saying, also what you are feeding your mind with. But please, I also want to advise you, apart from all the madness that happen in Nigeria, apart from political class, the world, God's earth is a beautiful.
You know, for example, when I went to his house, the first time my dad told me, if you go to Oshekara, forest, mountain, snake, anaconda, different kind of sort. And like God truly is living, he's not living in the forest, so he's living in an eclectic and beautiful environment. You know, fully covered with trees and everything. But that's his nature. When I got there, I was exposed to a lot of things. In fact, when I met him, he was telling us about life. You know, another thing again is the system of atheism about him. Olusheka is a devil. When I got there, he said, my own religion is art. And I realized that, and it's true. When I look at the religion we have these days now, I don't want to mention different kind of atrocity coming from them. So my own belief, like what Mr. Rufai have said, is that we should travel. Let our minds travel.
The only way to grasp this confidence, this self-assurance, is to treat it as pure knowledge. Not intuition, not revelation, not blind faith, not ambition, not deductive reasoning or a conscious sense of mission. No, simply as knowledge in its purest, unassailable form. We were the Renaissance people, and we were working in our various fields, quite indifferent to any special designation to bring about this Renaissance. If there was a plan of action that took place within continental leadership, it took substance, bearing from the merging of nationalist forces at the leadership apex. Beginning with two mutually antagonistic blocs, the Casablanca and the Moreover groups, a collective effort was progressing in the direction of the formulation of an organization of African unity.
Before I move on to the museum for the final performance, I'll be calling on Anna Ndoku. Anna, are you here? She's going to be performing from Ahmadu Bello University. Yes, I can hear her.
My skin is pumice to a fault. I am down to hair roots, down to fiber filters of the raw tobacco nerve. Your net is spun of cedar strings to hold the griefs of God. I wander long in tear vault of the sublime. Queen of night torment, you strain sutures of song to bear imposition of the rights of living and of the dead. You pluck strange dirges from the storm, sift rare stones from ashes of the moon, and ride night errands to the throne of anguish. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I want to say big thanks to everybody for this successful journey so far from the first week of July to the end of July, because it's not easy. Please round of applause for yourself again. Please thank a portrait inside the museum. So we're taking ourselves a detour around the museum. So if you find one of the portrait fascinating or probably want to know what really happened in this so portrait, you are free to ask a question. We'll be taking the mic along with us. So yeah, I'm saying thank you very much. We have a girl also Oni Grace.
Wole Soyinka, a sage I knew from my grandfather's shelf. My grandfather's old rickety shelf by the barefaced window houses the wisdom of this sage in heaps of folders and paperbacks. I grew up with my head buried daily into the pages of his literary innovations. It transcends my state of ignorance to an estate of anagnorisis, discovery. Daily, I flip through his wisdom layered on every page, with every blink of my eyes and with every stroke of my hand, dancing briskly to the beat of his literary prowess. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Soyinka is saying here, he's protesting against that word fatwa, that you cannot, you should not be asking people to be punished just because they say something. That everybody should be free to express themselves. No one should be asked to, just because you say that you don't believe in Jesus, for example, nobody should, that's your own belief,
Performance we had, that was 2 weeks ago. Yes. If you are part of the program 2 weeks ago, we have an August performance from Abeokuta, who gave us a fantastic artistic work of Egungun. The Egungun we both know, the terrifying Egungun, but was now crafted into an artistic and creative work where laureate Joshua decided to recreate the myth of this dreadful Agbada of Egungun to fiction into Wole Soyinka, known as Egunla, and that's why the artistic work is titled Egunla, to let us understand that what Wole Soyinka has done in Nigeria and across the globe has set a path, like a mantle that no one can ever trespass on.
What we did was essentially we considered control of this celebration to our younger associates, whom we call volunteers. Many of the things you are seeing is their brain work and brain power. We are just supporting from the background.